Hello, everybody,
Hey!
and welcome to an all-new Wrestling's Road Trip After Hours. I'm your host, Mac Davis, and of course, right next to me is none other than WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. Teddy Long. How you doing, Teddy?
I'm doing good. Y'all heard me screaming. I had to wake Mac up, okay? And so that's why I
no,
was yelling at him.
no, I had my coffee.
Ah, well, all right.
Hey, look, Teddy, while everybody's coming into the room, let me remind everyone, please share this. Let's see how many people we can get into the room in the next 30 minutes. We're only here for 30 minutes a week. We keep it short and sweet, but we have a lot of fun while we're here. We actually answer any questions you have. Anything that you have in mind for Teddy Long, ask him. He'll answer anything, I promise you. And Teddy, before we get underway, I do want to mention that one of our viewers actually sent in a package this past week to Road Trip After Hours. And I want to read this to you. This comes from Alex Booth in Santa Cruz, California. And Alex, if you're in the room, say hello so we know you're in here. But he says, hopefully Teddy can use these for giveaways or sign and sell at the merch tables. He's a legend. Big fan. Alex Booth. Let me show you what he said. He sent me about a dozen of these things. I know you've seen these before.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sent me those. So you got some of these you can put at your merch table. And he wanted to make sure instead of throwing these things away because he was going through a house, he wanted to make sure he'd pass these on to you. So
Well, I really thank him very much, man. If you're in the room with us, man, thank you so very much. And that's exactly what I'll do with them.
and I tell you what, on the backside, I was noticing that let's see, I don't know how well we can see this, but that's I don't know what year that was, Teddy. What year do you think that may have been?
That was in the 90s there. I think that was when I was managing Butch Reed and Run, the
Yes,
team of Doom.
you're correct. It says on the back, Teddy Long is the self-proclaimed godfather of pro wrestling and manager of the World Tag Team Champions Doom. He's always ready to talk about his team. He claims that Doom isn't afraid of any tag team and says, "We're going to rule the world, baby." Is that how you would say it? Give it to me how you would. We were going to rule the
We're
world,
gonna
baby.
rule the world, baby.
Yeah, you go. There you go. But Alex, thanks so much for sending those in. It's kind of cool to
Yes, yeah.
get.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, player.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna put this to the side. Actually, I might keep the one I was just showing you there because you never give me one, so I just have to take one. Look here, a lot of things in the news, Teddy, that surprises me. First of all, rumors flying around about the possibility of Vince McMahon, a new wrestling promotion, and Fox. I wanted to get your take on the rumors that this is a possibility that's taking place. What do you think?
Well, like I said, we talked about this before. And like I said, congratulations to Vince. I hope it is something that he is putting together. I mean, like I said, maybe people may frown on me or say bad and because of what has happened to him or whatever. But my thing is this: you're innocent until proven guilty. So that hasn't happened yet. So I'm looking at the other side. So I hope it's true. I hope Vince is getting something started. And like I said, man, if there's anything I can do backstage to help him, I ain't worried about being on TV. None of that. That don't bother me. But if it's some way he can use my brain or something, any way I can help him in any kind of way, I'll be glad to do it.
And that was a question I was going to ask you if you would work for Vince McMahon again. I know because I know how you are when it comes to the travel. Yeah, travel is not a big thing. I mean, not something you care for. Let's put it that way. You've done enough of it over the years that you don't really care to do too much. But if it were Vince McMahon, you might rethink that, huh?
Well, I don't think it would, with the way the business is now, you know what I mean? I don't think it would be much travel for me if like I said, if I did do something with Vince, I think it would like I said, I'm open to him. You know what I mean? And so if whatever me and him talk about, whatever he thinks is the best thing for me to do or whatever he wants me to do, then that's what I'll do.
I find it kind of curious, and a lot of people pointed this out when the rumors started circulating about, Fox and Vince McMahon and possible wrestling promotion. We did see Vince McMahon not long ago. It was at the Super Bowl, and he was flanked by a couple of other people that we recognized that included his son, Shane McMahon, that we thought may have gone to AEW or talked to them, and also The Undertaker. So let me ask you, is it hard to believe that Vince and Shane could be working together?
No, it's not hard to believe that. I mean, why wouldn't you want that? That's father and
Yep.
son. You know
Yep.
what I mean? I think it should have been that way, all the time. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's never too late.
Do
I'll put
you
it like that.
do you think the Undertaker is under such a WWE contract that he'll never leave there, or could we see somebody like Undertaker maybe show up in a Vince McMahon promotion?
Well, I don't know. This is what I feel. I feel that if Vince McMahon comes up with a promotion, Undertaker will show up in that promotion. Okay, that's what I think. And like I said, Taker has made it clear. He's let you know that Vince is like a father to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Vince did a lot for him, did a lot for me, man. You know what I mean? So I can understand Taker's position. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna walk away from him, and I'm not gonna walk away from him either.
All right, word today also that the billionaire princess Stephanie McMahon is said to have a wrestling podcast coming up soon, Teddy, for the WWE, and it'll talk about her life behind the scenes and in front of the camera. That should be a really interesting program, wouldn't you think?
Oh yeah, Stephanie's a great talker too, man. And like I said, I worked with her over my career. I had a lot of fun with her. So I think she's gonna do real good with that. That's gonna be great.
And she's also doing there's another show. God, for those of you who are watching, maybe you'll remember is I want to say it's a ESPN Plus series, maybe, or something. It's called Stephanie's Places. And she travels around with some of the vets and some of the current talent and gives you a look behind the scenes of those guys. I think I've seen her actually on a yacht, if I'm not mistaken, with Rock and Roman Reigns and the whole family toasting wine or champagne, one or the other. So I'm sure that's what it's from. But so she's staying pretty busy, and she seems to be kind of creeping her way back in to the WWE.
Well, I don't think she ever left.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's people who say that too. Now, let me ask you, do you remember, and by the way, those of you who are watching, please, if you got questions, leave questions for Teddy. Teddy will pick one of his favorite questions when we go to the mail and to your comments. And his favorite one will win a T-shirt, a Road Trip After Hours T-shirt, which I thought I brought in here with me, but I don't see it right now.
Yeah, see, there you go. There you go.
But we got a great T-shirt for you. So just leave those comments and questions down below. One thing that happened, do you remember when Matt Morgan, he's a former WWE superstar. Do you remember who I'm talking about?
Not right off. That name sounds familiar. Matt Morgan. I just maybe say some more. I might.
He was a really big guy. I think he was in both WWE and TNA. Big, tall guy, muscled up. But he had commented that Vince McMahon gave him the stuttering gimmick when he was in WWE. And it didn't last long, didn't work too well. And he said that Vince's reasoning behind it was that he wanted a big monster-looking guy to have a imperfection that people could look at as a weakness for that individual. He also said, and here's the funny part, Teddy, he said that McMahon had initially considered someone else for the stuttering gimmick. Who do you think he might have had in mind?
God, I don't know. I can't answer that, brother. Because with Vince, you never know.
Well, which is true because believe it or not, he was actually going to give that gimmick to Brock Lesnar at one time. Before he gave it to Matt Morgan, he had tossed around giving it to Brock Lesnar. Can you imagine a stuttering Brock Lesnar coming out on TV? Well, actually, he didn't even talk that much when he first came out, did he, Teddy?
No.
So,
maybe you do. You put Heyman with him back then, so then Heyman can make up for that stuttering.
Oh yeah, well, you need something. All right, well, let's see. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to give you a chance to kind of catch up on the St. Louis FanFest that's coming up in May. Teddy, another big event. Of course, you're receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award when we're in St. Louis. And it's 2 nights there. It's actually 2 days. Let's put it that way. The Friday night and the Saturday afternoon and evening that you get a chance to meet and greet with a ton of famous people in the wrestling business, including Teddy Long and even legendary pro wrestling journalist, Mr. Bill Apter. He'll be there as well. So there's a lot of fun going on. Teddy, are you looking forward to this event?
Yeah, I really am, and like to say good thanks to Herb Simmons and Nick Ridnour, those two guys, that really busting their butts up there and making this thing happen every year. Also, like you said, I want to thank them too for the Lifetime Achievement Award and something else that they're doing real special. For the past 2 years, they've only had the autograph signing on one night, and that was Saturday night. Well, this year we're going to have the autograph signing 2 nights, Friday night and Saturday night. The superstars, whoever's there, will be at the table. They'll be signing autographs for 2 nights right there this year.
That's going to be cool. And I'll be there as well. So I'll be looking forward to that weekend. It's one of my favorite weekends of the entire year. Teddy knows that because I tell him all the time, this is one of my favorite shows that we get to go to. It's just the entire environment is really cool. I think you'd like it. If you want to find out more, go ahead.
And the thing is, with Herb Simmons, you got to thank him, man. Here's a guy that thinks about the guys that nobody think about.
Yep.
You know what I mean? A lot of guys that they put there in the Hall of Fame, Bob Orton, a senior there. You know what I mean? Nobody, I don't know what he was asked to go to the WWE Hall of Fame or not, but
Yep.
Herb Simmons thinks about that. People that really deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, they don't make it in WWE. Well, he created another Hall of Fame, so to make sure that these guys are recognized.
Now, look, we're going to come back in just a quick second. We're going to give you more information about the St. Louis Wrestling Fan Fest. And on the other side of that, we'll come back with your questions, your comments, and your emails on Road Trip After Hours.
SICW presents FanFest 3, St. Louis, May 16th and 17th. Hilton, St. Louis Airport, Nikita Koloff, Missy Hyatt, Gangrel, Teddy Long and Mac Davis, Tito Santana, and Bill Apter. More to come. SICW FanFest 3. For more info, SICW.org.
Letters, we get your letters every day. Mailman, mailman, mail today. Reach right in and pull one out. Those letters, I love those letters. Let's find out what you got to say.
Oh boy!
Mailman, mail today.
All right, Teddy, here we go. This is where we answer some of the questions that you've sent in and also the ones you can leave us. If you want to leave some comments right here, please do so right now. This is where we'll answer those questions. But Teddy, as always, I get a few during the week and I always try to pull these out and bring them in here because they're kind of the really good, sweet questions I get out of the bunch. Dawn in Texas wants to know, who was the weirdest person you ever met in professional wrestling? Strangest, just most out there kind of individual.
God, there's a lot of them.
Most of them are probably your friends too.
Yeah, they were.
But was there somebody though that was just really, you kind of got around him, you're like, wow, this guy's just a little bit too much.
Like I said, it was a lot of them too. The guy that I really want to mention, he's passed away, so I'd just rather not even mention his name.
Yeah. All right, let's see. We got Jacob in California. Of all the road trips that you took, was there ever a time that you saw something you couldn't explain? Example, UFO.
No.
Now, wait a minute. You might have seen something that just may not have actually been there, right?
Yeah, I probably had no idea what it was. If you want to know something strange, that I was on the road one time, and all of a sudden, this car pulls up beside us and honks the horn, and the next thing we look over, and it's Victoria. She pulls her pants down and she moons us. So that was a good night.
By the way, I saw her earlier that she had stopped by. She saw that we were going to be coming up live tonight. So, Victoria, if you get in the room too, let me know. We'll pop in and ask you a couple questions as well. And thanks for going by our site a while ago. Let's see. Also, Bryce Bordeaux. And look here. Let me pop him up here. This guy, Teddy, if you have never seen Bryce, Bryce does incredible work when it comes to ring announcing.
I know him.
Do you? Yes, absolutely incredible. So anybody out there looking for a great talent, Bryce is one of those talents.
I know Bryce. I've known him a while. I met him out in Texas.
Yep. Let's see. Wyatt Long saying hi. He's in the room tonight.
Wyatt Long. All right, player. Maybe we related somewhere down the line.
What do you mean you might be? It might be immediate family and you wouldn't even know.
What's the last name, Long?
I'm just saying you wouldn't even know if it was your brother at this point.
Well, no, I wouldn't.
All right. Here's one of the things that you love to do, Teddy, and I'm glad we got one of these. Patrick Down Under is going to give you a name association. I'm going to give you a name, several names. Give me what comes to mind about each individual. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Oh, God, Teddy. I'm looking at some of these names. Okay, here we go. Be honest, Teddy. Ole Anderson.
No comment.
Gary Michael Capetta. Now, for those of you who are not aware of WCW wrestling in the early days, Gary Michael Capetta was one of the announcers for the group. And go ahead, Teddy.
Great guy, Gary Capetta.
Now, when you did Gary, he always seems like such a quiet guy. When you get up around him, you see him at the show sometimes, and he's selling some gimmicks, and he just seems like a real quiet guy. But I remember him when I would sit ringside, and he would be out there talking to the fans during, in between matches and everything. And they had at that time, and you might remember this, the Nitro, not Nitro girls, but they were the ring attendants that would walk around the ring, they get the jackets and everything. And I mean, they had, I don't know where they found these girls. I'm assuming it was probably Hooters. But he would always sit there and just smile as they went by. But he seemed like a super nice guy.
Yeah, Gary was always a great guy, man. I worked back with him back in the day, man. Real nice guy.
All right, here we go. The next one may be a little bit difficult. Let's see what you got to say about this one. Ric Flair.
No comment.
For those of you who are watching, you're not sure why he's saying no comment. There are a couple of names he just won't comment on for good reason.
Well, and the other thing I'll say this, reason I'm not commenting on him because it's old news. Okay, that stuff is in the back. It's in the past. It's done. I've moved on with my life, and I hope they've moved on with their life. So ain't no use me wasting my time in air talking about some mess. You know what I mean? It's a bunch of mess. So I got it now. So I ain't worried about it no more.
Let's see, Bryce writing back in here. I appreciate the love, gentlemen. Teddy, I'm actually working in Dallas at Southern Junction on Saturday for a super fight event. We worked there for SWE. I would love to hear more about your times working for the Godfather of Soul, James Brown. Also, has Teddy ever seen the famous drunk interview that James Brown did on CNN?
Yeah, I did see that.
You got to explain it because I have not. What happened during this interview?
Get Bryce to explain that to you. They was asking him a bunch of questions about something, and I don't know what he had all his teeth in or something. I think that was out. He might have just had got out of jail up in South Carolina or something. I think it was where he went through that high speed chase where they were chasing him. So they were talking to him about that. But yeah, that was pretty heavy.
Did you have any memories when you were working with him for his radio stations? Anything about James during that time?
Well, James was very strict. James Brown would fine you if you didn't have a tie. If you walked around, didn't wear a tie to work, you would get fined. You also had to say to him, Mr. Brown, that you make sure you do that. If you didn't say that, that's another fine. He was so strict, and he knew. Here's a man that had no education, no high school education, no college education, but he knew music. And he was so good at it to what he would do when his band would be on stage, they would live performing. If somebody missed a bad note, he would catch it and he would keep on performing. But what he would do, he would be letting them know that he's going to fine them for missing that note. And he'd be dancing and doing this like 5, 10. And he's letting them know that's how much you're going to get while the whole time he's entertaining. So he was incredible.
Would you say that he is a lot like Vince McMahon? Because that sounds like a Vince McMahon kind of attitude, really. If you're not going to get it right, I'm going to fine you until you get it right and you do it the way I pay you for.
Well, kind of, you know what I mean? I seen Vince get out of his the gorilla position and go down to the ring and kick the guys right out of the ring on live TV. So
Anything's possible, right?
Yeah.
All right, we got two more names for the name association. Here we go. Big Show is for the next one.
Great guy. I had a chance to work with him for a while, man. Paul has always, been cool with me and, everything. So all I can say is Show, great guy.
And the last one on the list is one I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to throw it out there anyhow. Chris Jericho.
Chris and I were always cool. We didn't ever have no problem, but I learned a lot from Chris. He always would sit down sometime and me and him would talk and he would explain stuff, and make it, real understandable. So, like I said, I had no problem with Chris at all.
All right, here we go. One more letter here that we got from last week. Chi in Florida wants to know, what is your favorite go-to snack?
My favorite go-to snack.
I know at one time it was was it Patti LaBelle banana
the banana pudding.
Yeah.
The Patti LaBelle banana pudding. God, I got that so much, so I kind of got burnt out on it, so I haven't had it in a while. So my go-to snack now is God, I wish I had time I'd go get the bag and show you. But there are these the Cheetos I buy, and they're like baked, and they're like a box of them, and they're like 8 bags in a box. But those are my snacks. That's me and Rufus enjoy those. We eat those together.
I haven't heard Rufus tonight. He must be sleeping off to the side somewhere.
No, he's at Rufus. He's in here.
Somebody asked me the other day, I didn't know you had a dog. I said, I don't have a dog. And on one of the shows that we did, he was barking in the background. I just remember going, hush, Rufus. They thought that was actually my dog I was telling to hush. And it's like, no, I don't have a dog.
Rufus, he in here somewhere.
Let's see, Dave Ruby is popping into the room saying, what's up, Mac and Teddy? Holla, holla.
Back at you, Dave.
Absolutely. All right. Anything coming up for you, Teddy, we need to talk about?
I'm going this Saturday to Dallas, Texas. I'll be there for NWA Texas Style Wrestling, big night of professional wrestling. So I'm going, in fact, like kind of going home. I went out there. I was out there running SWE for a long time. And so I hadn't been there in like 3 or 4 years. So it's going to be great to see Rodney Mack, Dog Pound Championship Wrestling, and all the guys out there going to be out there on Saturday night. So NWA Texas Style Wrestling, Saturday night. Holla, I'll be in the building.
Also want to make mention that the International Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame made the announcement just the other day that going into the Hall of Fame with Rocky Johnson and, oh, Lord, I can't remember Okay, Rocky Johnson, I know, but the one they announced just the other day was WWE's very own Trish Stratus. So congratulations to Trish. That's a fantastic thing. She will be at the event. Tickets are going to go on sale soon. There'll be more information coming soon. So just go to prowrestlinghall.org, and that's where you'll find that information. All right, Teddy, we got to pick a winner for tonight, and I would have guessed that maybe Bryce because the question about James Brown, but it's your pick, not mine.
Well, like I said, I was going to do that too, man. I wish you hadn't done it, but I was going to do it. But that's okay. It don't make no difference. Yeah, I'm going to pick Bryce too, man. I think that was a great question.
Yeah, and everybody, thanks for joining in tonight. We certainly appreciate it. And this show only grows if you share it and bring your friends, and we get this room bigger and bigger, and we can answer a lot more questions live and have a lot more fun. Trust me. Teddy, I look forward to seeing you again next week, my friend, right here. How about anything that you want to mention before I just pop us right on out?
You just pop us right on out.
Oh,